amazing lineup for you. Can you please give it up for the comics in the back so they can hear you? Awesome. Is everybody having a good week? It's Saturday. The weather was really nice today. Yeah, that's good. My week wasn't so good. The nonprofit I work for did surprise layoffs. Yeah, here's a solution. Profit. I recently started sleeping with someone new. Yes, very exciting. I was pretty nervous, and he wanted to make me feel more comfortable, so he played my favorite song during, which is, of course, the PS4 loading screen ambiance sound. It's just like, how does every guy in his 20s know I love that track? A little about me. I am suicidal, non-practicing. I did try practicing for a while in college, but it turns out it was just a phase. Speaking of phases, I'm also bisexual. Woo! Yes, I knew one person would cheer. Bisexuals love raising their hand and letting everyone know they're bisexual. I'm a gold star bisexual. There's a term, a gold star lesbian, which is a woman that has never slept with a man. I'm a gold star bisexual, which means for every 5 men I date, I consider a woman. And I consider it pretty hard. My little sister is a lesbian because that's what little siblings do. They kind of take your thing and do it better than you. And then for some reason, by the time she's doing it, your parents are like really chill about the whole thing. Because when I came out to my parents, I had to make a huge deal about it. And I took them to the fanciest restaurant I could think of, which was a crab boil restaurant. Some of you are familiar. If you haven't, it's like you go, you order a bunch of seafood, and then your fingers smell like the bottom of the ocean in Cajun seasoning for about 4 to 5 days. And I thought doing that experience with my parents would be like really beautifully symbolic of all the clam I was about to be knuckles deep in. It's important I let you know that that symbolism went over my mom's head. But my dad pulled me aside in the parking lot, and he held my hands and he said, "Lauren, I always knew we liked the same things." What do you guys think he meant by that? When my little sister came out, it was COVID, and so she just did it on a Zoom call. At the very end of the call, she went, "Hey, by the way, I'm a lesbian," and hung up, and sort of left me there, like her PR manager, to sort of field any questions they might have about the whole thing. Now, I've dated 1 man seriously and 1 woman seriously, which is the quota I have to hit to tell these jokes. And people ask, they're like, "Well, what's the biggest difference you've noticed in dating the two?" And this is not me being stereotypical, this is 100% true. When my ex-girlfriend and I broke up, we laid in her bed, caressing each other's faces, sobbing, and we thanked each other for the opportunity to have loved one another. And when my ex-boyfriend and I broke up, he threatened to kill himself 3 times. And 2 of those times were via an email that he signed best. Now, I know it's not appropriate for me to, give edits on a suicide note. I just think that's maybe the one instance where sincerely is the way to go. Because then at least I would have known he meant it. Someone told me at a show recently they didn't think it was fair the way I talked about my ex-boyfriend because you guys don't get to know him at all. So I wrote a few jokes about him so you can get to know my ex-boyfriend a little bit. My ex-boyfriend is a type 1 diabetic, but he also used to yell at me in public a lot. So I'm actually super okay if the cost of insulin goes up. Someone also told me they thought that joke was a little ableist, but don't worry, he was able to punch a lot of holes in our apartment wall. Okay, you guys didn't like that one. It's okay. It's okay. He didn't either. I got quite a few emails about it. I was going to the gynecologist last year because I was experiencing discomfort during sex and Reddit wasn't really giving me the answer I was looking for. And so I go to the gynecologist and she's listing the possible reasons. She's like, oh, maybe you're allergic to latex or have vaginal dryness or, I don't know, are you sleeping with any well-endowed gentlemen? And I said, I guess like they all kind of are. And she goes, oh, well, I'll tell you your diagnosis. You're one lucky girl. And also I have like a severe latex allergy. I'm trying to date. Anyone here trying to date? Okay, awesome. Okay, it's really awesome when you ask a hypothetical question and everyone's in love. I'm trying to date. I can't really be on the apps. I'm banned. A lot of people get banned because they, solicit money or they make multiple accounts. I'm banned because my ex-boyfriend's best friend works for Match Group. So I'm automatically banned from Tinder and Hinge, but just to make sure he was covering all of his bases, I did make a profile on blackpeoplemeet.com. And I have been cleaning up. I recently had a very serious conversation with a guy I've been sleeping with. I asked him, I said, hey, if I got an abortion, you'd be supportive, right? And he goes, oh yeah, I have to be. I don't believe in child support. Oh, did you know there's a worse answer than no? I am trying to be more adventurous in the bedroom. I'm trying to be kinkier. I figured I've cried during sex before. Maybe I'd like it on purpose. I bought nipple clamps. Has anyone here ever given those a whirl before? Okay, well, I'll tell you a little secret. Your nipples have to stay hard for those to work. Because I found out the hard way, or I guess the soft way, when they kept falling off. And then I said, I swear to God, normally my nipples are rock hard. He was sweet though. He sat down next to me and he's rubbing my lower back to sort of comfort me. And he goes, it's okay, we can just do penis stuff tonight. I recently had a guy surprise me with stepfather, stepdaughter role play. If anyone here is thinking of trying that plot point out, let a girl know ahead of time. Because we were in the middle of penetration when he leaned forward and shushed me. And he said, don't forget, I'm your stepdad. Forget? This is the first I'm hearing of this. But unfortunately for him, I've taken Improv 101 multiple times. So I said, oh yeah? Well, I think I hear mommy coming home. And he went, what are you talking about? I'm sorry. What are you talking about? You're the one who wanted to do this. I was polyamorous for a little bit, mostly because I like attention. And I was being a third for couples. And at first, it's awesome because you get to see what person in the couple suggested it. Because what they'll do is they'll put you in a group chat, and then one person will kind of take over for the collective. And they send you a lot of texts like this. We think you're really interesting. And we would like to get to know you more. And we would like to probe you deeply with my penis. And then like 3 hours later you get a notification that's like, Samantha thumbs up a text. But then you never meet them. This is gonna be a hard pivot. I'm going through a period of grieving in my life. I recently lost my mom, which is not funny, but the circumstances surrounding loss and grieving can be very funny. And I think the best example of this is the phrase like intention versus impact, right? So a lot of people that talk to you when you're grieving have amazing intentions, and their impact is terrible. And I know this is true because I was at my mom's funeral and my very loving friend came up to me and she was sort of lovingly petting my hair to comfort me. And she pulled up a gray hair And she went, "Oh, you been stressed out lately, mama?" And I had to look around and go, no, nothing really comes to mind. I am very noticeably tattooed. My dad always told me that people who got a lot of tattoos when they're older are insecure, and he's right. My mom also hates my tattoos, but I do like to remind her that with all of these, they'll be able to identify my body when I end up in that ditch she's always telling me about. What was I gonna say about tattoos? I mostly got my tattoos because I sleep with a lot of guys who have ADHD. And if you sleep with enough of them, you know that you have to give them something to focus on. I'm used to getting comments on my tattoos. They don't really surprise me. I get catcalled a lot. I get grabbed a lot. I get a lot of concerning, "You'll never find a job" comments a lot. But the favorite comment I ever got was when I was getting a massage recently. And the massage therapist pulled down the sheet, and I have a very large tattoo of a tiger on my back. And so when she exclaimed, I went, "Oh yeah, it's a tiger." And she went, "It's scoliosis." I used to live in Seattle. Has anyone here ever been to Seattle before? Okay, woo-hoo, tepid on Seattle. Just like a stray observation about Seattle is for a city that has a rampant heroin epidemic, I actually think it's very inappropriate they picked a giant needle to be their mascot. When I lived in Seattle, I was a staunch vegan. People hated that about me, especially my dad. My ex-boyfriend, he was a vegan for 17 years, and he did it for the right reasons. And I did it for him. But I told everybody in my life, no, I'm not doing it for him. I'm doing it for the animals. Well, the animals actually didn't do shit for me. Animals don't really reciprocate, you know? Not without a little smear of peanut butter. All right, you guys, we've got an awesome lineup for you. Are you ready for the rest of your comics? Alrighty.